Here I am in Vermont on Highway 14 near Brookfield, I believe. And I've stopped on the side of the road to get some water from this spring. This is Route 14, heading towards East Randolph, where a lot of my ancestors, Banisters, are buried. And this is my vehicle. And a little spring over here where I got water in my jugs. I was showed this a few years ago. Very pretty. Here I am looking up Highway Vermont 14 north. And we're going to get turned around because I'm in East Randolph. And look at this way, there's some houses. I've just come into the little town. This is Junction Vermont 66. And there's my vehicle. East Randolph, this is a Baptist church. And here comes some truck. It's not been too busy on this road. I'm at an intersection, so that probably goes to reason why it's kind of a little more traffic. And we just went through a lot of farmland. And these are the signs here. Royalton is 11 miles ahead. And this is the area where a lot of my Banister ancestors lived. My great-greats and great-uncles and aunts and cousins, and just makes you wonder where they might have lived. And there's a little brook that comes along the way here. And highway signs over there say to 89. And that goes to Randolph. Actually, Bliss Banister and Mary Haywood, my second great-grandparents, are buried up there in Randolph. I'm not going to go up that way, it's uphill, and I'm heading back into New Hampshire today, so I don't have time to do that. But here I am in East Randolph, Vermont. Here I am at the East Randolph Cemetery. This is the old section here, where a lot of my great-great-greats are buried. This is the new section over here. But in the distance I can see names that are in my family tree. So I'm going to walk over here first and take a couple videos of the stones over here. I was here last year about this time. And I don't know if I lost all my regular pictures. But anyways, I will have a little... Okay, here's... These names are familiar in my Banister line too, because Almen, A-L-M-O-N, if I'm pronouncing it right, B. Haywood, because I have Haywoods too. Over in Randolph is my second great-grandmother, Mary Haywood, and she married Bliss Banister with C. Banister, and they're buried over in Randolph. So here's a stone that is fairly new, well, not real new, 1842 to 1914, and Amelia A. Griffin, his wife, 1850 to 1919. And then as I look this way, I remember seeing a Banister as I was looking from the road. Yes, right over here is a Banister, right here. This is a Francis Sargent Banister. February 21st to 1851 to April 7th, 1942. And Jenny Eliza Sargent, his wife, April 25th, 1860 to November 28th, 1944. And here's some other little stones. I think I'm looking at the right direction here. Well, anyways, these are close to it, but this, oh no, this is Gifford. It's right near Gifford. So their stones would be over this side more than likely, although I don't see any other small stones, so probably this is the only stone, this big one here. And there's nothing written on the back of it. And there's no small stones. So this is a Banister plot right here. And over here is a Moulton stone. I was just visiting Faith and Bob Moulton up in Williamston. And I have Whitneys also in my lineup too. So this is a Whitney stone with Moultons on it. Very interesting. There again, nothing on the back of it. All the information is on the front of it. And this is a general locale where it is. So this is a Moulton, Royal W. Moulton, 1873. No date of death on here, which I'm sure it should have been put on. Alice E. Moulton, his wife, 1855 to 1922. And her name was probably Whitney. That's probably it. And here down in the corner of the old section, right on the edge of nowhere, is Banister. Between a tree, behind a tree, whatever kind of tree this is, we'll have to move the branches to get a good view, is Almen Banister, 1820 to 1894. And I guess it's Ednah F Banister, 1825 to 1901. And you can see it's right on the edge of a hill, right down to another area, a low area. They're right here. And this is way in the back, right, south right of the cemetery. Looking across is a farm up in that area, across the way. And there's the cemetery building. But if you keep coming along this way, there's Banisters down there. Okay, we'll check out some more of the cemetery. And if I can remember where the others are buried that I looked at last year, be good. Here is a Brigham stone, but I'm not sure if this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm walking around to the front of it. On the side there's some names. And this is the front. Very hard to read the stone. So I'm now towards the back, south end of the cemetery, heading up to the back north end of the cemetery. Very peaceful, very quiet, very pretty. If I remember correctly, over to the area where I'm pointing with my finger, if you can see it, are the Banisters. There's this poor old dead old tree out here in the cemetery. And I believe the Banisters are over in that direction somewhere. I'm going to start walking that way. Hopefully I haven't gone too far. Don't remember exactly how close to the road they were. I'm not seeing Banister stones. Oh, I see some Banister stones way up ahead. So these would have been great-grandparents or great-uncles and aunts buried out here that lived in the area of East Royalton, or East, yeah, not Royalton, Randolph, Vermont. I'm seeing a lot newer stones smack dab in front of me. Sanford Banister, born June 18th, 1812, died March 18th, 1901. Orpher Sargent, his wife, born April 26, 1813, and died December 10th, 1873. Okay, here's an Andrew Banister, died October 3rd, 1840, at age 25 years, and his wife, Agnes G. Stanley, erected by their daughter in 1907. Well, I know there's smaller stones. Oh, here, I'm coming to them now. Here is Seth Banister, son of Eli and Hannah B. Died March 27th, 1814, aged 20 years. And here is Mr. Eli Banister. Died October 30th, 1809, aged 53 years. And Eli Banister died 1865, age 86 years and 2 months. Okay, one of these is my fourth and third, I believe, great-grandfathers. Probably the one that died 1809, and this other one that died in 1865 would be father and son. And the wife of Eli Banister, they would have been my third great-grandparents. She was Lucy Severance. I believe the name's not on here, but that was her name. And she died March 7th, 1872 at age 84 years. So here's where most of the Banisters are buried. There's some stones that maybe there's others buried that there's not stones for. So this is where the Banister grave is, or graves, of my third and fourth great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, all laid to rest in this area. So this is the lineup where a lot of Banisters are buried here in East Randolph, Vermont. And this is the scenery. I know I'm probably missing ones in here too that are probably ancestors. Very pretty day today, early fall, along Vermont Route 14. Barry is up the road, 18-20 miles, and south of here is Royalton. A few miles east of here is Tunbridge, maybe 13 miles or better, where a lot of my other ancestors are buried. So you can see that a lot of them lived in the surrounding areas. I just sure would love to know exactly where they did live. But very pretty Vermont countryside. There again, the cemetery is near this farm. Nice old barn. Sign there says Brayley Road in the distance, if any of you are all hunting it in the future. Because I don't know if there's a sign that says East Randolph Cemetery. I didn't really happen to see one, but this is the area. And I have Woodworths that are buried in this line. Here is a Fanny W., wife of Andrew Woodworth. So I'm taking this additional little video clip here because of having them not only in my Moody line way back, but also seems to appear that there's Woodworths married into the Banister line. And right behind it, interestingly enough, is an Austin stone. And I have Austin ancestry also. Lydia Belknap, wife of Reverend L. Austin. It's hard to read some of these with the mold, and I haven't gotten anything to take the mold off of the stones. I plan on getting something. And this one, he said he was a United Methodist clergy. Interesting. So this is East Randolph Cemetery along Vermont 14. Across is the newer section, And I did take a few pictures before over in there.